Gentleman, Representative Evans is rising for a point of parliamentary inquiry.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to comment on House Bill 40.
That's not a parliamentary inquiry.
Then can you tell me exactly how I can go about making some type of comment relating to the process and what's taking place here, Mr. Speaker?
The gentleman, Representative Smith, the minority leader, in his motion requested that we proceed immediately to third consideration and final passage of the bill and impose Rule 61, which would immediately end debate and discussion on all amendments and immediately call the question to the House, final passage of House Bill 40 without debate.
Then you mean at no point do we get the opportunity to comment on this process or what's taking place here with House Bill 40?
That is correct. The previous question shuts off debate entirely.
If I was to make a motion, Mr. Speaker, relating to what I think would be the direction of this bill, would I get a chance to comment on that motion?
No debate would be in order. The bill is on final passage and a vote should be called on final passage.
Mr. Speaker, how about if a motion is made for reconsideration of that vote that just took place, Mr. Speaker?
For the information of the members, I'm going to read Rule 61, just so you know what the actual language of the rule is. Motion for previous question is seconded by 20 members and sustained by a majority of the members present shall put an end to all debate and bring the House to an immediate vote on the question, then pending, or the questions on which it has been ordered. For what purpose does the gentleman from Philadelphia, Representative Thomas, rise?
Mr. Speaker, parliamentary inquiry.
Gentleman can state his parliamentary inquiry.
I need some clarification, Mr. Speaker, from what the chairman of the Appropriations Committee just received and what I thought I just heard. Is that the minority leader has imposed a rule to shut the people up on this bill, allow for no conversation.
Mr. Speaker.
And if that is the case,
House will come to order.
I'd like to move that the House adjourn.
Adjournment motion takes precedent over all motions.
Pardon me? He said, yes, what?
The chair recognizes the gentleman from Philadelphia County, Representative Thomas, who makes the motion that this House do now adjourn until Wednesday, Wednesday, October 6, 2010 at 11 a.m. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Allegheny County, Mr. Marr, on a point of order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With all due respect, the gentleman from Philadelphia did not make the motion that you just recited. The gentleman from Philadelphia made the motion that we do now adjourn. He moved that we adjourn sine die, which would conclude our legislative session, and I would encourage that that matter, his actual motion, be the motion that is in fact before us and not some alteration of the gentleman's motion.
The gentleman, Mr. Thomas, did not make a motion sine die. He just made a simple motion to adjourn the House.
And a motion to adjourn without setting a date to reconvene is a motion to adjourn sine die. That's exactly what sine die means, without day.
Gentlemen, yield. A motion sine die has to be made by a member explicitly enumerating that type of adjournment. The gentleman did not adjourn sine die. He was just asking to adjourn the House. The House is sunshine for session tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Well, if the gentleman wishes to make that motion, I'm open to it.
Gentlemen will not speak over the Speaker.
I apologize, Mr. Speaker. I apologize.
The gentleman's motion to adjourn is a motion that is in order and takes precedent over all other motions. The gentleman did not make a motion to sine die. He made a motion to adjourn, and he was recognized for that purpose. The question before the House is whether or not we adjourn to tomorrow. The chair recognizes the gentleman. For what purpose does the gentleman rise? Mr. Verb from Montgomery County.
Mr. Speaker, I have an inquiry, a parliamentary inquiry, and then if we go to motion of adjourn, I'd like to make a comment on that motion, Mr. Speaker.
The gentleman will state his parliamentary inquiry.
Mr. Speaker, it was apparent that the gentleman had been recognized and you had terminated that recognition, and I guess his mic was left on to make the motion to adjourn. He was making some comments about the gentleman from Philadelphia's previous comments, but in fact the Speaker, my understanding, was done recognizing him, so I questioned with the record whether or not, if I just yell motion to adjourn without being recognized, Mr. Speaker, do you recognize that, or do I must be recognized? Because when you called on the gentleman and asked for him to be recognized, for what purpose did he rise, he began actually interrogating the Speaker, which I believe you do not, or not, a debate is not involving the Speaker, it's not in order. So you, in fact, allowed this gentleman to go on and on and on against our motion to proceed, Mr. Speaker, and I'm questioning why that was allowed to happen, and if in fact he was recognized by the Speaker, or if you were finished with his recognition.
The gentleman, Representative Thomas, was recognized under point of order and parliamentary inquiry, and in that recognition made a motion that the House adjourn.
Mr. Speaker, I challenge that decision based on the fact that I believe what I heard. Never mind, Mr. Speaker, I'll withdraw that.
On the motion to adjourn.